back at the Hard Rock. Jeff Dotseth, Clinch Gear Radio with Clinch Gear's own Tyron Woodley. Tyron, great to see you. Tyron, weight cut looked like it wasn't too bad. How you feeling?
Man, I feel good. Been ready to roll. You know, I think this kid's in for a nice little butt whooping.
What's the key right now? What do you do between now? We talked about it with Luke Rockhold. What do you do now, Tyron? What is your routine between now and fight night tomorrow night?
Really just relax, rehydrate, you know, just be confident in what you did. You know, it's all done now. You know, another 10 sets or another whatever is not going to get the job done. So right now it's just being with people that, you know, want to see you do well, some of your loved ones, relax, you know, not anything too stressful, and just, you know, carry that relaxation into the fight.
What does it mean to you to fight in a city like Las Vegas that has such a great history of both boxing and MMA?
You know, it's funny because I didn't even think about that. I've never fought in Las Vegas before. When you think of Vegas, you think of the casinos, you think of the distraction, you think of the smoke. And I've cornered a lot in Vegas, and I think how short the walkouts are.
Yeah.
It's like you turn on that song, like, do. All right, Vaseline. So for me, it's just really staying focused. You have to walk a lot more than other hotels to get all the way to the convention, get all the way to the different towers. So I try to minimize that around this time. You know, I want to be off my feet as much as I can, and really just focusing. You know, I know the energy is going to be high, but you know, I just plan on going out there and doing some extraordinary things.
What do you know about Jordan Meehan? What concerns you? He's got a bit of a height advantage. We saw how effective he was with the elbows against Cyborg Santos. But when you look at him, when you watch his game, what concerns you?
Just his youth. You know, the fact that he doesn't have much to lose. He's not protecting the record. He's not, you know, really probably even seeing to win this fight. So for him, he's just gonna go out there and just try to, you know, pull an upset. So for me, it's addressing that, notifying that he is coming to fight, and this is not a pushover fight. You know, this gets tough. And for me, it's just going out there and saying, you know, I'm the better fighter. I'm the person that's the uncrowned champion in this weight, and I'm improving.
Do you feel like, you mentioned being the uncrowned champion, do you figure win this fight, beat Meehan, and your next fight would be for that vacant Strikeforce welterweight belt?
I can go 2 or 3 fights back and think that.
Sure.
After beating Tarek, after beating Daly, you know, this fight, after this fight. So for me, it's really just focusing. I have no easy fights left. You know, every fight I fight is going to be a legitimate person in front of me, and I'm about to go put it on them. So I'm going to start with Jordan Meehan, and I'm assuming the title will be next. I'll put it on the next person too.
Was there any part of you that was surprised that Strikeforce survived?
Not surprised, you know. For me, it was just they had already announced this bout before they came with the big news, so I knew I had one fight at least with Jordan Meehan. And then, you know, from then on, I got a pretty good relationship with just overall, you know, all promotions, Zuffa, Strikeforce. So I wasn't really worried. I wasn't in a bad spot anyway. So if they had dissolved, then I would have just had to go over, you know, to the UFC and kick some butt there. You know, and the fact that they didn't, I'm actually excited because I wasn't one of the guys that was like, oh, I'm ready to go to UFC and I'm ready to jump ship. If I was Strikeforce, I would be pissed off because you put time to promoting these guys. The reason why the UFC wanted to buy Strikeforce is because Showtime did such a great job of promoting the fights, matchmaking, putting on amazing. We had an amazing 2010. You know, better than the UFC, better than Bellator, better than any promotion. We had the best fight year as an organization. So when you forget about that and the people that basically push you on the map and help you get more fans and help you get more, you know, notoriety, you know, I was very cautious of saying I want to jump ship and I want to go to the UFC. Now we all want family, so for me it's just, you don't have to wait for that period of time we have to negotiate. If it's meant to be, then I'll just jump right over and start, you know, wearing different colored gloves.
It's crazy to think, Tyron, that it's almost been a year since Zuffa purchased Strikeforce. From a fighter standpoint, from a media standpoint, I can tell you the weigh-ins start a lot quicker than they used to. From a fighter standpoint, have you noticed big differences?
Yeah, I definitely had a nice little Christmas gift.
Yeah.
But I just noticed that basically they're using a little bit what they call the machine a little bit more. You know, the highlight video they put together was amazing. They put more steam behind the actual visuals and the media, all the props and stuff they use. So really, they just kind of pimping us out.
Yeah.
You know, still the fighters, still the people that are working hard, still the mindset that we have, but I think they just really put us on a better platform to show more people what they were already doing. So I think it's been very helpful.
I try to keep these interviews focused on you, but I would not be doing my job if I didn't ask about the performance of your very good friend, Michael Chandler, in his recent fight against Eddie Alvarez. It seems like every time I talk to Mike, I ask him about Tyron. When I talk to Tyron, I ask him about Mike Chandler. What did you think of Mike's performance in what many people are calling the fight of the year?
Oh man, it was just like a big brother watching his little brother do what he know he can do. You know, it's different because, you know, when you get in camps and you train with people, you know what they're capable of doing. And when we talked about Bellator, we talked about Strikeforce, and we trained together, and I took them all over freaking U.S. training in Temecula and Hendo's Gym, you know, ATT, and Austin, Texas. And I'm like, this kid can go. He's like a cage pit bull, and he wanted to fight all the time. So Bellator was the best situation for him because he fought so often, and when he beat him, man, you can look at him. He had no plans on losing that fight from the time they started. Even after the third round, when Eddie probably landed 80% of his punches, he came out in that fourth round and acted like nothing ever happened the round before. So, you know, I talked to him, and I just felt like, you know, he walks with God, and I feel like God entered into that young man. If anybody's going to be, you know, a story where, you know, it could have been over with one or two more punches in that third round, he came out, he put it on Eddie, and I think it was definitely one of the top 2 fights of the year. And I think, you know, he's got a long career, man. He might be like Dan, it might be like Randy, where he's fighting in his 40s and still stomping people.
One thing we always say at the Clinch Gear office, you can be a champion in the cage. It's how you handle yourself outside the cage that determines if you're on our team. Mike Chandler, no question about it, one of those guys, and this guy right here, Tyron Woodley. We couldn't be more proud to have you part of the family, Tyron. Continued success. Best of luck tomorrow night. We'll look forward to catching up with you soon.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.